Hey YouTube family, it's your girl Jazzy, getting jazzy with jazz. And if y'all want to have a good time, YouTube family, just like I do, come on over. And I need y'all to go ahead and do this for me, like, comment, and subscribe. And then we gonna get the party started. Hey, we have reached the end, y'all. The season finale to Nelly and Ashanti. Nelly and Ashanti, we belong together. Okay, so this is season 1, episode 8, and it's called The Way I Love You, and it is the season finale. And Nelly made the decision, of course, to perform to the inauguration and to have to first base, birthday, and then he made the decision. He told Ashanti, they had that conversation, and her views were not the same as his, but she quickly moved on, and then she said, well, do you want some of the birthday cake? And then it's half to first base. It's a half to first base cake. And the way that she described it is half to a year old, because the baby is 6 months. 6 months birthday celebration. You're cute, baby. And then Nelly said he felt great performing for the inauguration. He was expected, to get comments, mean comments, but he didn't want it to, feed to Ashanti and the baby. And she says that of course it was threatening comments on her and the baby's life, KK's life. And he says that he hurried up. He was gracious. That's what he said. I can't read my writing, but he said he was gracious for the opportunity, and he said that it helped him, to give to his foundation that he had. And I said, okay. And he said his business, and says that we gotta have a reason all the time, and we remember what happened, and we moving on. And then they quickly got off of that. And Ashanti, she throws a Ashanti slumber party, and she wanted to let loose to hang with the girls. And one of them was Nelly's cousin, and one of them was her therapist, Ashanti's therapist, and then it was just some friends and family members of her, ladies that were friends and family of hers. And the girls play a game, and it's called Dancing Around the Table. And you have to get, it was like 5 balls, I believe, and you have to hurry up and dance around the table. And then when the music stopped, you better hurry up and try to get one of those balls, or you out. And then Ashanti got the last ball, and of course they was pulling and they was touching and all that stuff. And she was saying, I got it. And you do definitely have to pick up you gotta pick your battles. And when she was sitting down, the other one was Nelly's wife too. And not Nelly's wife, that's Ashanti. LL Cool J's wife. And then they were just talking about, how her and Nelly was able to overcome, the situation with him performing at the inauguration. And his LL Cool J's wife's name, of course, is Simone. And what she said was, you just have to pick your battles, and you have to choose what you want to go against, what you want to argue about, what you want to fight about, and you just always have to pick your battles in relationships. Because, either you not gonna see eye to eye, or y'all gonna meet in the middle, or y'all gonna agree to disagree, but it's never good. And you always have to make sure that you at least talk. at least talk to each other. And then you may still have difference of opinions, and as long as y'all can agree to disagree and not be upset and be mad at each other, then y'all good. And she was just pretty much telling them that she wasn't okay with it, but he gave her a reason why that it was okay, and it helped him, you know, to get in different circles, and it was going to help him, you know, be looked at in a different way, and went for his foundation that he has. And then everybody was saying, okay. And then she asked about passing, about her mom passing. And Mama Tina said that when she found out the record label, okay, and then they paying from her slumber party or whatever, and then they go to quickly when she goes to Angie Martinez, and she gets another interview. And she was the first person to ever interview her when she first came out with Murder Inc. And y'all, I didn't know that she was that young. I did not know that she was a teenager. I never knew she was that young. She was just 16. I never knew that. I just knew that she could sing, and I ain't never look at, you know, the age of her or her age or anything like that, but I just didn't know. But she got a voice of an angel. I will say that. She does have a good voice. She can sing. And her Mama Tina, she said that when she found out the record label name, Inc., the Inc., we just gonna say the Inc., M Inc., y'all know, M Inc. I can't say the name. I don't want to get flagged. And Ashanti said that they record and the crack house. And her mom said, you going to the recording? You recording with that record label? And she said, I'm going. And just let me get my coat. And she said that M Inc. means that they are messing up music. And crack house means that that the music is cracking. And I said, okay. All right. And, you know, she was talking to Angie Martinez, and then Angie Martinez was just saying that when she first met them years ago in 2001, she said she thought that they was just the cutest couple. And then when she found out that they broke up in 2011, and then she said, okay, so they not together no more. And then she said it was a little hard for her, you know, in the radio world, hearing that a power couple had broken up. And I said, I like them. I like them as well. I really liked them. And so I was like, oh. And then she said, well, and then when I found out that y'all had the baby, and then y'all got back together, and I wanted to tell you, she said, I want to tell you, the baby is so gorgeous. The baby is so gorgeous. The baby is so cute. And she said that it was just a pleasure to be able to, you know, interview you, because you were my first interview when I first started my radio station, my radio show. And you were the first famous person that I was able to interview. And she said that she was always grateful that she was able to interview Ashanti. They just talked, and she was asking about the wedding and all that. And then she said, and then she asked about, well, did they figure out where they wanted to live? And she said, well, it's still in the works. And she said, we're gonna get married. She said, we're gonna get married. And, you know, she told the story of when they got back together, Then it was on, and then she got, pregnant with baby KK. So I said, oh. And then she said pretty much the wedding, and then they were touring and all that, and nobody had time to, just sit and plan a wedding. She got married. They got married. She just didn't have a wedding ceremony. And she said, we just didn't have time to sit down and just plan everything. And we're going to have a ceremony and in the near future. And she just was saying, well, congratulations on all of your endeavors, and congratulations on your baby and your family. And she said, congratulations. It was so nice to know y'all. And she said, I know I'm going to be seeing y'all more. But she said it was a pleasure that you would come back to the first interview that you ever had. And she said she was very, very honored, and she gave her a hug. And then it went to Ashanti, and then she said she is on the way to pick up Nelly's wedding ring. And remember, she was supposed to be picking up that wedding ring, but you know how rings have to get sized and things like that. So that's why it took a minute for her to get the ring. And the wedding ring was ready. And then she was meeting with Lorraine Swartz, the jeweler. And then Nelly had a joke and saying, well, she ain't all, she all this, she all that, and just making a joke. And then he said, I'm just playing. I love her. And he said that he got a lot of jewelry from her himself. So he said that she's a friend of theirs. And he was excited to get his ring. And Ashanti said, well, I got my ring. And then Lorraine, the Swartz, they gave baby KK an 18 karat necklace for baby KK. It was so pretty. It was so pretty. And then she said her ring is 11.5. And she said, I was supposed to get married years ago, and we were supposed to get married, and then he had got the ring. And then she said, a good thing that I waited, because she said, bam, I got another ring, 11.5. And then 11.5 carats. And she said, it's even better. And she always laugh and all. She always laugh and all that. But I said, she's just a happy person. She is really a happy person. And she always was a person that always would laugh. And then she finally gave Nelly his ring. And it looks good. And he got that ring on. And she said that she want him to have his ring on. So when he go to tour for them 2 months that he gonna be on tour for, she said people need to know that he is married and he is spoken for. And my whole thing is, I never understand why these fans of these celebrities, and that was the end of it. He got his ring and he put that ring on, but I'm just gonna talk to y'all for a second. I never understand why these celebrities, they be married now. And YouTube, that was the video. And what I want y'all to do is like, comment, and subscribe. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, YouTube family.